Hello, this is Sarah Tuberty, your host from Disarming Disability. Enjoy the following program on Public House Media.
Strike three, you're out. Welcome once again inside Caught Listening on the Public House Media Network. Christian Heimall here with you, broadcasting, as always, part of Public House Media Sports. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just search Caught Listening by Public House Media. You can also email the show, caughtlisteningphm@gmail.com. You know, it's been interesting. This is, you know, as we head into the end of July and the start of August, baseball's back. And it's weird because I went into this whole season not really wanting baseball. Didn't think it was right, didn't think it was safe, didn't think it was worth it, so to speak. You know, from a everything that's going on in the world with coronavirus, COVID-19, all that stuff, I didn't think it made sense to play baseball. And I was happy to see a lot of leagues decide they weren't going to play. And you know, I understood why Major League Baseball wants to. I understand why the players want to and all of that. And you know, it's interesting though. As soon as first pitch on Thursday the 23rd happened with the Yankees and Nationals, I was hooked. I was right back into it. I was so excited. I was so ready for baseball, and I just wanted to keep watching it. And I found myself scoreboard watching, and I found myself looking for highlights and looking for stories to see what was going on in the world of baseball. And I can't help but think to why that is, because again, there was so much about this year that just shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't happen. I mean, what's going on with the Miami Marlins right now, and the fact that you may have to, you know, completely change around a schedule. Who knows how many people could be exposed because of this? It's thankful that nobody's been exposed yet. You're going to have people who don't obey the rules. Clearly, the Marlins didn't, but that's a topic for another show. It just makes me wonder why I immediately became hooked again. Why, even though I grew up a diehard Boston Red Sox fan and still am, you know, to an extent, as soon as Stanton hit the home run on opening night, I was excited because, well, I mean, first off, it was an absolute mammo. And secondly, baseball was back and it was meaningful and it was exciting and it was fun. And all I could think of as to why I was so excited, it just came down to one simple fact. I love this game. I love this sport. I love what it does. I love what it means. I love what it is. And I know we live in a time now where football and basketball and collegiate sports and mixed martial arts, to an extent, tennis, golf, you know, hockey, all of those are maybe surpassing it in terms of popularity. And I understand that there are issues with this game, but man, do I love it. I love this game so much because of what it means, because of what it is to so many people. I mean, it is America's pastime. It is our one of our oldest sports that we have. It is something that we cultivated, that we created, and it's one of those sports too that, for better or for worse, I don't know if it's memorialized. I don't know if it's idolized. I don't know what it is. It's romanticizes its history more than anything else we have in this country. We look at baseball as the true melting pot, and we don't do enough. And what the players are doing now with Black Lives Matter and their social justice movements is phenomenal, and it's well overdue. And a lot of that is because Major League Baseball didn't want that. But we romanticize Pee Wee Reese with his arm around Jackie Robinson. We romanticize the Negro Leagues to a point where, you know, we ignore the fact that those never should have been in place. Yes, they had some of probably the best baseball players that have ever played, and nobody knows their stories. But you know, we romanticize the idea of what baseball is. We romanticize the idea of how incredible this game can be to all of us. I mean, so many of us, you know, it's incredible that this game, it's timeless. No matter how much the world changes, baseball will always be there. It's one of the first things we do as kids, and for me, will be one of the last things I do before I die. baseball is that. And I know that, movies have romanticized it. Movies have played into that, especially in the late 80s and early 90s. The Kevin Costner trilogy of baseball movies, Field of Dreams certainly did that. But almost every single person in America can think back to a time when baseball was all that mattered in their life. When they had a glove in their hand, a bat in their hand, a ball in their hand, whatever it was, playing catch with mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, older brother, older sister, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. You can remember those moments. I mean, still to this day, I can remember the moment I was hooked on baseball. And I know it sounds dumb, but it was 23 years ago, July 26th, 1997. My grandfather, who was from New Hampshire, took me to Fenway Park to see the Red Sox play the Anaheim Angels. I got an autograph from John Valentin. Had no idea who he was at the time. I was just turned 8. Got an autograph from John Valentin, starting third baseman. Nomar Garcia-Parra is leading off. And Mo Vaughn hits a walk-off home run off Troy Percival. And now I go back and I look and I watch these highlights and I realize how lucky I was to see Jim Edmonds and Tim Salmon and Garrett Anderson and Darren Erstad for the Angels and Percival and Hatterberg and all these guys for the Red Sox. And you think about that and you romanticize your own history. You pull out those great moments of the past. And then you build on those moments. Going when my family and I were living in Baltimore, we had season ticket plans, and not true season tickets, but we saw a bunch of weekend games at Camden Yards, and getting to see Cal Ripken during his final season with the Orioles, getting to see the growth of Miguel Tejada, Brian Roberts, Melvin Mora, and those Orioles teams. Pedro Martinez on opening night. I remember my father taking me out of school one day when we were in Baltimore to go watch Pedro and the Red Sox at Camden Yards. They lost, and the next day Hideo Nomo threw a no-hitter, but still, those are the things that those moments, you romanticize them, you love them because of what it means to you personally. It hits home, and it holds on to you. I mean, some of the best moments I can think of, taking my dad to Citi Field for the All-Star game. My dad grew up a diehard Mets fan, hadn't seen a game in Queens since the 70s, and being able to take him to All-Star Week. To watch him get autographs from guys like Tim Tuffle in the 86 Mets and to introduce him to those guys and give him those opportunities. Taking my younger brother, who's a big Red Sox fan, to his first ever Red Sox-Yankees game at Fenway Park, where Napoli hits a walk-off in, I think, the 13th inning. That kind of stuff is awesome. But more importantly, is baseball, and I'm sure there are people who have those moments. I can remember going to see the Bulls, going to see Jordan and Rodman and Pippen play the New Jersey Nets in the late 90s. I remember going to see that. I can remember, going to see the Devils and the Red Wings when they were at their peaks in the late 90s. I remember where I was for what the St. Louis Rams and the Tennessee Titans in the Super Bowl. Every sport has those moments. But baseball, unlike any other, is so wrapped up in this fabric of America's game, of a family game, passed down through the generations. Again, Field of Dreams does it better than anything else, and maybe that movie helped really romanticize it. But the beautiful thing about this game is that it does allow us to escape. And that's a lot of it is sports and entertainment in general. But what baseball does, because and how it allows you to escape, is what's amazing. This is a sport that is played by literally everybody in the world. Everybody in the world plays it. Some play it better than others. The Dominican Republic, the Caribbean Series is some of the best baseball you will ever watch when the Dominican and the Venezuelan and Cuban teams are going at it with each other. The KBO, and I'm so happy people have gotten a chance to watch the KBO. The Japanese, the NPL, is incredible to watch, and the amount of talent that comes out of there. And in Europe, sure, it's not catching on great. Team Italy had a decent shot, in the World Baseball Classic a couple of years ago. Team Canada, whatever it is. But, throughout the world, it's soccer and then it's baseball. Yeah, basketball is getting over in some other places, and sure, combat sports are there too. But everybody can play this. Just go... maybe we don't do it like we used to. Maybe there aren't as many pickup games of baseball. First off, you got to have 18 people to be able to play, or at least 10 to be able to play so somebody can pitch. But it's incredible to watch the entire world come together around this game. And you see it from so many different spots. And what I love about it too, maybe more than anything else, is that it's a sport that when you're growing up, you don't need to be of a well-off, you don't need to come from money. You don't need to be a well-off family and a well-off society to play this game. All you need is a stick and a ball. And it's not like other sports where you need so much other stuff. Basketball is probably the easiest one. You just need a basketball and a pair of sneakers, if that, But baseball is one of those sports that you can start it so early. You get ingrained in it. You get taught in it. And it's such a beautiful game because of how much it takes to achieve success. When you think about it, when you really think about the game of baseball, it's one of those games that teaches you selflessness. It teaches you selfishness. It teaches you teamwork. It teaches you individuality. It teaches you all these different dynamics of being a human being in a simple game. See the ball, hit the ball, throw the ball, catch the ball. It's very simple principles. But what it teaches is dedication. It teaches focus. It teaches teamwork. Again, selflessness and selfishness. You got a runner at third with 2 outs. For you have to be selfish and think, I'm not looking to walk. I'm not looking to just get on base. I'm looking to drive that runner in. When you're thinking selflessness, runner on third and 1 out. Well, I don't need to get a hit here or a home run. I just need to put the ball deep enough in the outfield for a sacrifice fly so that he can score to help my team. Not me, but them. Pitchers, it's incredible the focus that you have to teach them. Catchers, the focus you have to teach them. Infielders, to trust that if you're going to make a flip to second base or throw to first, even if you make a bad throw, your teammate's going to pick you up. If you drop a fly ball, your pitcher's going to pick you up. In the outfield, to trust that your teammate's going to let you know if you're getting close to a wall or help you find the ball. It teaches you all of these things. Communication. It's incredible. I love this game. I love when it's played the right way too. I absolutely love this game. And that's what got me. That's what made me fall in love with it. There were so many different ways to contribute. So many different people have to be able to contribute. Your catcher's got to call your game. Your pitcher's got to execute his pitches. You're not only from a defensive side of things do you have to be in the right position to make the right play, but then you, the very same person, get to go on offense and try to dictate things. It's incredible. The only other 2 sports where that happens are hockey and basketball. And even then, you've got substitutions for defensive specialists. Same thing with soccer. Football, you rarely have someone who plays on either side of the ball. It doesn't happen at all. And it's glorious and it's beautiful. And then, as I continued playing on and I stopped playing and I got involved in working in baseball, it just found another newfound love, another way to really enjoy and be passionate about this game because, and this is better for worse, I'm a baseball fan, but baseball isn't necessarily, at the minor league level, what is so beautiful about baseball at the minor league level is it's not about the game on the field. It's about what's going on everywhere else. It's about the camaraderie. It's about the sense of community in the stands. And generally speaking, it's fairly affordable at the minor league level for you to be able to just say, you know what, we're going to go to the ball game because everybody else is going to be there. Doesn't matter race, creed, color, religion, all of that stuff. Doesn't matter. You're all there in a community sense, cheering on your team, having a hot dog, nachos, popcorn, playing on the jungle gym that's at most of these ballparks, whatever it is. And you feel like you're a part of the action. And minor league baseball, minor league players understand that. Sure, majority of them, all of them, have the goal of getting to the majors. But all of them also have the appreciation of what that small community and what that team and that game means to that community. And that's what's beautiful about it. And being able to have something like that to do, and something like that for kids to go and be safe at, for families to go and connect at, and for old friends to connect at. I mean, some of my favorite times of baseball, think about it. What was I just talking about 10, 15 minutes ago? The people I was with. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love going to Wrigley Field. I loved going to Nationals Park. I've only been there twice. I love going to, Camden Yards and the old Yankee Stadium, the old Shea Stadium, and Turner Field in Atlanta. But the memories are made with the people there. Not just with the folk, not just with the game, with the people there. That's what's beautiful about baseball. That's what's beautiful about it, because it can be such a small gathering. Very rarely do you have a group of like 50 people going to one baseball game. And if you do, there's generally like a small pocket of like 3 or 4 that you're actually really with, even if it is a work outing. But it's such a small pocket that you're enjoying those moments with, but in such a larger community setting. And it's incredible because all everybody cares about is just having a good time. Win, lose, draw, walk off, rain out, doesn't matter. The beautiful thing, and what I've loved so much about working in minor league baseball for the last 10 years, is that that's what it is. It's a community. And baseball is timeless. It's always been here. Like they talk about in Field of Dreams. It has stood the test of time. Country has rolled past it like a steamroller, been wiped away and rewritten, but baseball has stayed the same. It's stayed constant. It stayed true. And don't get me wrong, there are certainly things that need to change with baseball, and we're going to get into those in later shows. But, man, is it fun. It's a beautiful game to watch when played right. When you watch pitchers and you watch the mental thing about it, and what I love so much about it is that it can't be decided in seconds because there is no clock. It's such a mental game. It's such a cerebral game. When you watch it at the best level, it's like chess. A 1-0 pitch isn't necessarily dictated by what that first pitch in the count in the at-bat was. It could be dictated by the at-bat 2 at-bats ago when it was a similar 1-0 pitch. And the guy throws a backdoor slider and it gets hit for a home run. What does he throw this time? Changeup or curveball or fastball. It's such a cerebral game, and it takes such dedication and focus. And that's stuff that we don't really see a lot of. We take great pride, and we are in amazement and in awe when a quarterback is able to sit in the pocket with an all-out jailbreak blitz, 8 guys at him, and he's able to focus in and hone in on his receiver and deliver a perfect pass 40 yards for a touchdown. If for some reason we think it's boring in baseball when a pitcher and a batter get into a 13-pitch at-bat, and a pitcher either makes a beautiful pitch on the corner to get the called strike, or the hitter fights off, and then works a single out of it, or a home run. It's incredible. It's the same exact concept, but just because there's no play clock forcing the action. There's nothing that forces the action except for the individual. And that's one of the more beautiful parts about the game as well. It's so much fun to watch. It's so beautiful to watch. And more importantly, when you get a chance, go to a minor league baseball game or an independent league game and look how beautiful it is to be a part of the community that is watching the game. It is so much fun. It is so gorgeous to watch. It is so uplifting to see because most of those organizations, most of those minor league teams are so entrenched in their community that you can find a way to be involved with them in so many different ways. So many different ways, and it just makes you feel even that much more a part of the team. I love this game. I don't know about you guys. I hope you do if you're listening to this show. I hope you like baseball. But I need you to I was thinking about that a lot over the weekend. Why was I caring? Why was I so excited to watch the Yankees hit home runs like crazy? Why was I so excited to see the action back, even with no fans and with weird pumped-in crowd noises? And the truth is because I love this game, and I don't ever see me not loving it. From working it, watching it, playing it, coaching it, whatever it is, in any way, shape, or form, you're not going to be able to convince me otherwise that this isn't the greatest game in America. And it's because of how much we romanticize it. It's because of how much it means to our communities and to our histories. and it's also because of you guys, the fans. I'm Christian Heimall. We'll see you next time. You've been caught listening.